travel health insurance, not just travel insurance, your bags during the missed flights. This is travel health insurance. So any visitor, any foreigner coming to Kenya and is staying there less than 12 months, this was passed back in 2023 in Parliament. And this is the reason why mnaambiwa, pay attention to what Parliament is doing silently. Somebody woke up last week and invented travel insurance. This was already tucked in that 2023.
In the SHA bill.
So I think, so if we are to blame anyone, is to blame, the authors of the SHA bill
and our legislators.
And our legislators. We now want to go to the narratives that were out there on what people were saying from when this Gazette notice was published back on July 30th, a week or two ago. And one of the narratives was that President Ruto has suddenly imposed 50,000 insurance on tourists. And this is where, sometimes facts get lost, especially in this political environment that we're in. So there's section 26.6 of the Social Health Insurance Act, which is popularly known as SHA, which was enacted in 2023. It says it applies to non-Kenyans entering Kenya for less than 12 months and requires travel health insurance. And I want you to pay attention to that language. Travel health insurance, not just travel insurance, your bags during the missed flights. This is travel health insurance. So any visitor, any foreigner coming to Kenya and is staying there less than 12 months, this was passed back in 2023 in Parliament. And this is the reason why mnaambiwa, pay attention to what Parliament is doing silently. So the first narrative that we can debunk here is that somebody woke up last week and invented travel insurance. This was already tucked in that 2023.
In the SHA bill.
So I think, so if we are to blame anyone, is to blame, the authors of the SHA bill
and our legislators.
And our legislators. Yes, and our legislators. So I think this is something that people were not quite paying attention to. Now, knowing that Parliament legislated this back in 2023, do you think that changes how people should view this outrage that people had? Omosh?
No, it doesn't change the outrage. Here's the thing. Whether it was, even if it was put in 1965, we didn't know.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we are acting off of once we have known. Then once we have known, then we come back and we start interrogating why it was even in there to begin with.
Yeah.
And when you come back now to start interrogating, 1 + 1 is not equals to 2. Because for one, we are being told that this is supposed to save, I guess, the Kenyan government and as well as the taxpayers from paying some other people's hospital bills. So the first question I would ask, how many tourists do we know who get sick and go to Kenyatta or go to whatever?
A lot.
Okay. All right, Mika, you're saying, for me, I don't think they do, unless they were like falling apart, then they'll end up going there. But I would like to see the figures behind.
Do you know when it says foreigners, not tourists alone?
Yes, so this is tourists, business travelers, and other leisure travelers.
Okay.
Yes, and I think part of the problem is that the government, of course, this was published in 2023 in the SHA bill.
Yeah.
But the government did not come out clear and say that we are footing a very huge bill for foreigners in our hospitals.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and I think that maybe is part of the problem, because now there's no clarity on that.
And this goes back to pretty much everything that's done by, I think, this and previous administrations, and especially I'd say UK's administration, in terms of how things are laid out and how things are basically implemented.
Yes.
It's basically almost like people sit in a boardroom, they come up with it, then boom, okay, let's implement it violently and see how it goes. Ama we throw, let's stick it on the wall, we see if the uganga is ready. If it doesn't slide down or whatever, then we know vitu zikopo. So therein lies the issue. And
Okay. Let me say something here.
yeah, go ahead.
This guy came out, right, and started talking very glowingly about the Constitution. And remember, Linda Mwananchi campaign has always been about the Constitution, right? And when he came out talking about the Constitution, he was championing his Vision 2060. It was about modernizing Kenya and about lifting Kenya to the standards that are needed to be a top global player. Now, the thing is that he didn't like this Constitution. But if you've noticed, gazettes and everything that are coming out right now are based from the Constitution. So he's trying to say that, he's trying to nullify the opposition who are saying, we don't need a manifesto, we need to follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's trying to pass gazettes, to enact gazettes, and to pass bills that support the Constitution. He's trying to champion, to show that he actually respects the Constitution. This is a political thing in terms of this is all political right now. If you notice, a lot of things that are happening in that country that seem to be progressive were already in that constitution that he
never supported.
He never supported. And ever since he was president, he's been defying with impunity. So all of a sudden now, we are doing things that are in the Constitution. That is how people are supposed to look at it. Now, the reason why Kenyans don't know about this thing is because we don't like politics. We like politicking. We like politicians talking and abusing each other. We don't like to look at the politics that take care of ourselves. This Constitution has been there since how long?
2010. We're now
2010.
15.
16 years.
16 years later, majority of Kenyans don't know. I will ask you one thing. How many of you remember that today is the commemoration of the bomb blast that happened in the U.S. Embassy?
Oh, and I did introduce the show with that.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know how many people, a lot of people in Kenya don't realize that today?
No.
Wengi hawajui.
Yeah.
You saying that, Ali, umefanya watu wengi wakumbuke hiyo kitu. The thing is, we love our country tukishine. We don't love our country enough to learn it and protect it.
So, Mika, maybe it's part of our problem that we thrive on drama. You know, like when a number is thrown, like $50,000, like that number, $50,000. Unfortunately, the media was also throwing it around a lot. And for some people who are seeing it on WhatsApp, they're seeing that number. They're not realizing that that's coverage. That's not the premium.
And you know something, because remember when I first saw this, we were in a group and someone posted it in a group, right?
Yes.
And and I was like, that's not true.
Your instinct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not even my instinct and me dealing with that's my bread and butter, healthcare, right? So I look at healthcare data in terms of the financial part and the healthcare part. So when I saw that, I was like, nobody calculates insurance like that. But then I realized later when I sat down and I read it, I didn't read the Gazette. I read the
headline.
WhatsApp News Network.
Your headline, your WhatsApp News Network. Vile mtu ameiandika. Right? So I was like, who covers for 50 grand? Even Americans don't cover for 50 grand.
Yeah, it's in millions.
Then I was like, so that's the value of the whole policy. Ungesema value of the whole policy.
Correct.
The nuance of how these things are communicated. So there was a lot of baiting that happened in that spreading of that information. And I think that's what got a lot of people. Even how the media was reporting it, that is what got a lot of people.